today's video, I'm going to share with you my experience having milia removed from my face, specifically my nose area. Was this procedure painful? Was it expensive? Was it successful? And would I do it again? Come on, let's go talk about it. Quick disclaimer, I am not a nurse, a physician, a dermatologist, a witch doctor, a pharmacist. I am none of those things in the medical field. I am just a person sharing my personal experience, trying to help others. And with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's talk about milia. If you don't know what milia is, it's basically these little white balls that get lodged underneath your skin. They're not really easy to come out. Like if you have a whitehead or something like that, a whitehead, usually you're able to just kind of squeeze it and it comes out relatively easy. The milia kind of grows like skin on top of it and it gets like stuck in there. It's kind of hard. So it needs to be removed in some certain way. From what I have researched, it seems like you get milia from sun exposure. You can get it from heavy creams and moisturizers that tend to clog your pores. And you can also get it from not exfoliating your face often. I think that might be the culprit for me. I really don't exfoliate my face as much as I need to. I'm always kind of worried about exfoliating my face because I don't want to cause damage. But at the same time, if you don't do it, it seems like you cause cloggage. And that I feel like maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of clogging my pores. Plus, I am exposed to a lot of everyday sun as well. So with that being said, I did have some milia on my nose. I had like a really big one on one side and then I had like 3 in a row on the other side. Every time I did my skin routine and put my makeup on, I would see it and it would bother me. So I finally broke down. I went to the dermatologist and had her remove it for me. Now, she did 2 different procedures. She did what they call a deroofing, which is basically taking just the very top layer off of the milia itself, that little top layer of skin, and then pushing the little keratin out. So how do they do that? It's usually like with a syringe. They cut a very small layer off and create an opening and squeeze the keratin out. The other method she did on the other 3, and I'm not really sure why she chose to do it that way, was to essentially burn it. She used a cauterizing tool and she basically burned those. Now, she did go ahead and numb it first, and she did do that with a needle. So that was a little painful. And then she went ahead and cauterized those 3. And I did forget to mention, I actually had a 5th done as well. I had the 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th. And the 5th was this little, I don't know if you can see it, but a little thing that I had there. It was like a little bump. Now, I have had that bump forever. And I'm talking about, when I say forever, I'm talking about decades. Okay. I had been to the dermatologist for that little bump and he told me it was some kind of little mole. And if I wanted it cut off, he would cut it off. I kind of got nervous at the time and I didn't have it cut off. Now I go see her and I ask her, I'm like, is this milia? And she says, yes, it is. So 2 different dermatologists, 2 different opinions. One says it's a mole. She says it is milia and she can get whatever's in there out. Okay, so what ended up happening, she did do that one with a needle as well and began to get the keratin out. When I tell you that that was super painful, I am not exaggerating. This one here, she did not numb it. She just went for it. And that was pretty painful. And now that I'm thinking about it, that's probably why she burned the other ones, because at that point I had been through so much pain with this one. She probably didn't want to keep, exposing me to that much pain. However, this one was really, really painful. And she did squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. And she kept saying that stuff was coming out. Clearly, I couldn't see. I didn't have a mirror. I wasn't able to see what was going on. But she said stuff was coming out and I believed her. That was pretty painful. However, did it get rid of the little bump that I had there? I don't know if you can see this. I still have the little bump. Now, the little bump is not nearly as big as it was. It was bigger, so it did go down. So my question is, what was that bump actually? Because she was able to get keratin out of it, or she was able to get something out of it. However, the bump kind of still stayed there. It just kind of reduced in size. So that's something I'd have to ask probably a 3rd dermatologist and find out what that was actually. So let's address some of the questions I asked at the beginning. Was this painful? Well, yes and no. The one that she squeezed that was really big, Yes, that's teary-eye painful where you're like, and your eyes are tearing. The one that I had here was not quite as big and hadn't been there for decades. It had only been there for a couple months. So that one was pretty easy to come out. She de-roofed it and was able to get it out quite easily. So that wasn't really painful. The 3 that she burned, that she cauterized, those were not painful. However, the needle that she used to numb it, that was a little painful. If you've ever had blood drawn, you know what that feels like. A needle in your skin, okay, She is putting a numbing agent in there, so that did hurt a little bit. Between a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 2. It wasn't terrible. But when she cauterized it, I was not able to feel that at all. So as for pain, I would say it depends how big the milia is. How big of an extraction is it that they need to take out? How much are they going to have to work on it? That sort of thing. If they're just kind of superficial and not too big, probably shouldn't hurt too bad. Question number 2, was it expensive? Kind of, because for me, I don't know about for other people, but for me, my insurance did not cover it. So it did cost me $25 per milia. She charged $125 for 5. I had a few more, but I just didn't want to fork out that much money all at one time. So I only had the 5 done. She did recommend microabrasion. She feels like I would benefit from that with my skin type right now. And she did tell me that she thinks that would keep the milia at bay. So that is something that I'm kind of thinking about as well. Maybe some type of microabrasion, maybe doing some weekly exfoliating, something to help with not only cleansing the skin thoroughly, but also smoothing it out and maybe encouraging some collagen production. So I'm looking into a couple other ways. Question number 3, was the procedure successful? Yes, it was completely successful. I have no more milia in the areas that she took care of, and I'll show you that up close. I do have a couple others here, but those were not the ones that she had worked on. So the 3 that she worked on are gone. The one on this side is gone, and this one has been reduced. So yes, the procedure was successful. Now, our last question, number 4, was, would I do it again? And the answer is yes. I would definitely do it again. My procedure was successful, as I said. It was a little painful, but now I know what to expect. And it was a little expensive, but yet again, I know what to expect. Addressing the procedure, if I had a choice, would I have it extracted with a needle or would I opt for the cautery burning technique? I would have to say that though there is no anesthesia, I would prefer the needle. And I'm going to tell you why. The side that she did the needle on was definitely a quicker recovery, healed like in 1 week. It was really quick. It didn't look like anything had really happened. However, the side that she burned, the 3, that lasted like a few weeks. I would say that I had those little marks there for about 3 weeks. The skin tone and color did not even out for a good 3 to 4 weeks. So that was definitely a longer recovery. So as I said before, if I actually had a choice, I would definitely go with the needle procedure just because the recovery is a lot quicker and it's on my face. So I want my skin to look even and the coloring even sooner than later. So there you have it, guys. That was my honest experience on having milia removed from my face for the very first time. I had never had this done before, and I was very happy with it. I did have good results, and as I said before, I would go back and do it again. I hope you liked this video. I hope you got a lot of good information out of it, and I hope that it was very helpful to you. If you like what you see here, please be sure to like, subscribe, and maybe even comment. Thanks for watching, and see you at the next video. Bye-bye.